Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Tabanso, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we got a hell of a show in store for you guys here today. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So as you guys know, the Los Angeles Lakers right now are currently the number 6 seed in the Western Conference, and they just came off a pretty gruesome loss to the Dallas Mavericks by 21 points without their two best players in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Also, before I shouldn't even said this, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone there that may have been affected by the wildfires that are taking place in California and LA. It's I've never seen anything like that. So our thoughts and prayers out to all of you out there. Hope you guys are safe. I'm sure it's not an easy situation to go through, but hopefully God is with all of you guys there. So just be safe, and our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. Anyway, so let's get back to the show here. So the Lakers are currently in the 6th seed, and incidentally, the Lakers didn't even play. The NBA had to postpone the game against the Hornets. They had to postpone that game because of this natural disaster that's taking place in LA there. So with that being said, as you guys know, there was this back and forth that took place between Charles Barkley and JJ Redick. Really wasn't a back and forth. It was Charles Barkley pretty much putting his goon down on JJ Redick, and JJ Redick basically saying he had no thoughts about it, which was a damn lie. Of course he had thoughts about it. So everyone weighed in on it, and then Stephen A. Smith himself decided to jump into the fray. And yesterday he produced a show on his channel. They got about 160,000 views now in less than a day, where he was kind of reacting to the back and forth between Charles Barkley and JJ Redick. So as I clicked on his show to hear what he had to say, he surprisingly went in a different angle. Instead of kind of addressing that situation head on, he started to say that even though JJ Redick is not perfect, the person he blames the most, the number one reason for the issues that the Lakers have been having over the years, is LeBron James. And he basically began to break down how LeBron is the one that essentially put JJ in this position, and is the one that we really should be paying attention to when we look at all of the shortcomings of the Los Angeles Lakers. But before we even get into what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. With the year almost over, I am super excited about creating memories with family and friends by attending various plays, theater shows, and sporting events. And when it comes time to look for tickets, Game Time is my go-to. Game Time is one of the most reliable marketplaces for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and theater in more than 60 cities across the United States and Canada. Game Time saves me money, time, and stress. It finds the best deals and guarantees that the tickets are legit, and it makes sure that the tickets are delivered to me on time. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It cuts through the fluff and shows you the best deals on great seats near you, so you don't waste time searching. For example, I'm really looking forward to this upcoming game between the Lakers and the Clippers. Here's what I like to do. First, I select an all-in price to see the total ticket price up front, so I'm not surprised by the additional fees at checkout. Next, I click on Game Time Picks to check out their curated deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what I want to do now is going to play exactly what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this issue, and then we're going to come back and really get into the meat and potatoes of today's show. Take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say here.
They're 20-16. They're top 6 seed in the Western Conference. Okay? And I think that the things that are happening with the Los Angeles Lakers are not of his doing. I think if he had better talent, he'd do better. The issue with that is one could say the same thing about Frank Vogel. One could say the same thing certainly about Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham, as he articulated just a couple of weeks ago, came near his first year. He got him to the Western Conference Finals. After that, despite a bevy of injuries and other issues, they won the in-season tournament. They got to play in, went through the play-in, got to the playoffs, and the only reason they got bounced out in 5 games and went home was because they were playing against the reigning NBA champions at the time, the Denver Nuggets, who had swept them in the Western Conference Finals the year before and took them out in 5 this go round. So when you're looking at Darvin Ham and the job that he did, you could easily ask, why is he gone? Now, J.J. Redick, what he has to own up to, and I don't fault him for this at all. This is all on LeBron James. This part that I'm about to mention is all on LeBron James. How the hell are you going to have a podcast about basketball and the nuances and the expertise and the intricacies of basketball with J.J. Redick, who you knew was aspiring to be a head coach, and you knew you wanted your coach Darvin Ham out? How you going to do that and think that ain't going to look cool? Yeah, come on now. I mean, LeBron James, that's the classic case of spitting in somebody's face and saying it's raining. It's the classic case of somebody passing gas religiously, farting in your damn face and calling it perfume. That's what LeBron James did. Let's stop that. But that's not J.J. Redick's fault. J.J. Redick was an aspiring coach. Only experience he had was coaching his son in, Little League basketball. And he became the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And let me state for the record, not to throw any shade on anybody, I'm just telling you my personal belief, no inside information or anything like that, but if something walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, I'm not going to call it a mongoose. When you offered Danny Hurley, I thought you wanted Danny Hurley as an organization until you offered him $11 million a year. He was a two-time national champion, considered universally as arguably the greatest coach in college basketball at this particular moment in time since Mike Krzyzewski has stepped away from the game. Danny Hurley is that dude at UConn. And after all that success, you offer him $11 million when Eric Spoelstra, Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, now Ty Lue, and others were all getting paid over $14, $15 million a year. Come on now. You wanted Danny Hurley that badly. You come up with more money than 11, but they didn't do that. And so because they didn't do that, the belief was you really didn't want him. You just used him as cover to get the guy who you really wanted, which was J.J. Redick, but you wanted to gloss over that because you didn't want LeBron James and the Lakers organization to look what's so bad for wanting J.J. Redick all along after LeBron James had made it so obvious that he was looking for a new coach other than Darvin Ham. That is the belief. Period. There's no way around that.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. I was a bit surprised to hear what he had to say. And I agree with him, but I still don't think we should take the focus off of J.J. Redick. Because even though LeBron may be ultimately the biggest culprit in all of this, it doesn't eliminate the fact that J.J. Redick is still at the helm of this situation. It doesn't omit him from the situation. And Stephen A. Smith is essentially saying that JJ's doing the best that he can. Well, that's what we can say about everybody else. We could say Frank Vogel was doing the best that he could. We could say Darvin Ham was doing the best that he could. But at the time that they were at the helm of the Lakers, no one was saying they're doing the best that they can. They were saying that they were grossly underperforming. And given the fact that J.J. Redick and Frank Vogel seem to have a similar, and Darvin Ham seem to have a similar record up until this point in the season, I don't know why we should give J.J. Redick that benefit of the doubt or give him that excuse, especially when we didn't give Darvin Ham that. All people like myself out here are looking for is just to address both situations with the same amount of passion and fervor across the board, right? And I don't think J.J. Redick should be getting a pass. I don't think he should. Is he having a tough go at it? So did Darvin Ham. Now, in terms of the LeBron James angle, well, that's the elephant in the room that nobody in media really wants to touch, right? And for Stephen A. Smith to bring it up now, it's like, bro, you could have brought this up then. You could have brought this up then. Is what he's saying true about LeBron? Yes, it is true, but it seems like this kind of last minute, like, well, JJ's doing the best that he can, but let's look in the direction of LeBron when we could have been doing that all along. That's really where I stand on this issue. It just seems to me that he's trying to cover for him. Right? Like, oh, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. No, some of these things that happen is his fault because he's the coach. All right? Some of these things that happen is his fault because he's the coach. That is a fact. Right? That is a fact of it. And I don't think J.J. Redick should be exempt from any kind of blame, regardless of the fact that LeBron James has had his hands all over the situation. I still think he deserves to be blamed for the issues that the Lakers have, the same way all those other coaches got blamed. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.